Well, good evening. I'm Alexia Williams with the CBS 19 election update. Let's get you right to the numbers. In the 5th District, Republican John McGuire taking on Democrat Gloria Witt. As you can see, we are still waiting for results on this one. McGuire was able to defeat incumbent Bob Good in the primary. Gloria Witt, the Democrat, trying to win in that district that's widely projected to go red. Meantime, in the 7th, Democrat Eugene Vidman and Republican Derek Anderson trying to fill Abigail Spanberger's seat. Control of Congress potentially on the line for this run. Vidman at 56%, Anderson at 43%. Meantime, in the Senate, we do have some numbers for you. Tim Kaine fighting to keep his seat. He has 55%. Hung Cao is at 45%. One of the few races that could decide which party controls the House of Representatives is Virginia's 7th District.
You'll remember it was redrawn a few years ago. This is the second election where the 7th includes Greene, Madison, Orange, and some other counties in the viewing area.
Two candidates are running to replace Abigail Spanberger, who is now running for governor.
Let's go live now to CBS 19's Sarah Allen in Fredericksburg. She's with the Eugene Vidman campaign. Sarah, Democrats really hoping to hold on to this seat tonight.
Well, in 2021, 1,952 suicides occurred among high school age youths, making suicide the third leading cause of death for that age group that year. But the latest CDC report shows slight improvements when it comes to teen mental health. Our CBS 19's Mark Gadd joins us now in the studio to break down that report. Mark. Artificial intelligence is now part of our online experience, but it's also being used in the worst way by criminal scammers. And the targets are now our kids, our parents, and our grandparents. Right now, AI has allowed criminals to make scams more realistic than ever with deep fake videos. The Orange County Sheriff's Office says that a man is now behind bars in connection with the gun found in a 6-year-old student's backpack at Orange Elementary School on September 16th. State police are investigating a fatal 2-vehicle crash involving a passenger vehicle and a dump truck that occurred early this morning. Well, UVA's Miller Center of Public Affairs hosted guests from all over Africa to discuss leadership and cultural growth. Our Fox Virginia's Mark Gadd was there and has more. We're just over a week away from the first time former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris will share a stage this presidential election season. Well, scammers are getting more creative and they're going after people here in Central Virginia. UVA Community Credit Union made a post warning people to beware of texts asking you to verify a purchase. And the Sandersville Volunteer Fire Department say that flood damage is impacting their response times to some areas. South River Road is closed just off of Route 230 and Octana Bridge is closed at South River Road. The fire department says that EMS vehicles cannot cross these areas safely and will have to utilize Turkey Ridge Road from Sportswood Trail to South River Road. VDOT is currently working around the clock to get those areas fixed. Well, as the election continues to heat up, Congress is cooling down. The House has recently pulled several bills. Nobody really knows what, if any, legislation will get passed in the near future. Our Fox Virginia's Pim Dyer has more with both Senators Tim Kaine and Mark Warner about that. I haven't really heard that much about Sabrina Carpenter controversy, but it's definitely out there. So no, it's 100%. Good to inform people.
And there are parents all over social media talking about it, but she does have a clean version. So if your kids want to listen to Sabrina Carpenter, make sure it's the clean version.
All right, or go to Kids Bop. There you go. That's what I used to listen to as a kid. All right, thank you, Cassidy. So the 70s, 80s, kind of gone, but at least we're still in the lower 90s. I think we can handle that.
We definitely can. You know, it's going to be very calm, very demure, very mindful.
There you go.
The demure is kind of the name of the game.
New research from UVA health scientists seeking to identify drugs to regenerate tissue after a heart attack. They say that in their follow-up work, the researchers analyzed 5 of the 30 compounds that they initially identified, and that's always great news to hear. Now, whenever it comes to other things such as, you being on ground during the groundbreaking surprise story that really shocked all of us here in Central Virginia of Tony Bennett deciding that he was going to step down right before the season. What's the vibe like on grounds where it's like, going from that to now having a multi-million-dollar donation?
Yeah, well, look, guys, it's a complete shift. I was on grounds when Tony Bennett announced his retirement, and the mood on grounds was one of despair, one of a lack of hope there. But now it seems like it's the complete opposite, where fans are excited again. Again, UVA, they're landing their top prospects, 2 QBs signed, and so we'll see what happens now.
All right, well, thank you so much, Mark.
Thanks, guys.
Well, the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety has released its 2023 American Driving Survey. That survey provided insights into U.S. daily driving habits after the initial impact of COVID-19. An agreement is expected to be in place this week for Habitat for Humanity to officially buy Carlton Mobile Home Park in partnership with the Piedmont Housing Alliance and the city of Charlottesville. And the holiday season is known for spending time with family and for all of the good food served at those gatherings. But the food that we eat isn't always the best for our pets. The Western District of Virginia will soon need a new U.S. attorney. That's because earlier today, U.S. Attorney Chris Kavanaugh announced that he will be resigning. Kavanaugh announced his plan to leave office following his wife's commencement as a U.S. District Judge. During this period of overlap, he will assign criminal matters to other Western Virginia judges in accordance with the court's standing order for assignment on those cases. Well, the walking bus kicked off today at Trailblazer, formerly Venable Elementary School. City of Promise runs that walking bus, which is a group of kids who walk to and from school. That's right, and our CBS 19's Mark Gadd is there live now and shares what this means to the residents who live there. Mark. And an injured skydiver was rescued from a tree late Sunday afternoon during a skydiving festival in Orange County. Our top story tonight at 6, with new life and new money injected into the UVA athletics department, the next step is success on the field. Now, Sarah, I know that for myself at least, I've definitely turned on my heater already and I smelt that smell. What causes it?
Yeah, absolutely. I fall for it too every winter when I flip the thermostat, turn on the heat. It scares me a little bit, but usually it is harmless.
A Charlottesville man is behind bars in a shooting investigation from earlier this week. Esteban Fortin is of Charlottesville and charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm. According to Charlottesville police, a man was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries from an incident that happened early on Thursday morning on Mason Street. If you can help with that investigation, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 434-977-4000. Well, today we're joined by Albemarle County Police Chief Sean Reeves to recap some of this year's highlights. And Chief Reeves, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, as we look to end this year, I just want to ask, what are some of the highlights that we've seen in 2024, some of the things that ACPD is really proud of?
Yeah, so ACPD in 2024, we're in a year on a bit of a high note.